Oh my God, China is collapsing. Its China economy is facing a nightmarish year of the dragon, and it has just only started. And do you agree that China's stock market collapse is the end of the road for many foreign investors? And here, another very respected magazine, The Economist, saying China is crashing. The leadership is not in control. Do you agree? So what is the problem with China right now? Well, there are many, but I'm going to name the two major ones. Well, first of all, like the United States, it had a absolutely booming stock market. Many people became millionaires or even multimillionaires just buying property in China, right? Just like, remember US, what happened to the United States in 2008, 2009, right? That collapse. Well, but in China it's different because their government actually identified this problem early. And so starting in 2017, they had a slogan which says basically houses are for living in, not for speculating, right? So they implemented all these policies to try to slow down this bubble and try to deflate the bubble slowly rather than popping it all at once. Now, the second problem, of course, that's difficult. It's not just going to get done in like 4 or 5 years. And the second problem is basically China now is on a different cycle, different trajectory to the United States. So it's trying to cut interest rates, right, and pump money, print money, like kind of like do what United States did 2 years ago, right? Because China doesn't have an inflation problem, it has a deflation problem. That's actually when prices start going down. That's not good. So it's trying to do that to stimulate its own economy. However, it cannot do that right now because the United States is actually hiking rates or keeping rates high. If it did that, then basically a lot of the speculative hot money would flow into US dollars, as it's already been doing, pushing up the US dollars and crashing down the Chinese yuan. So it can't do that just yet. So what China is actually waiting to do is for US to cut rates or start to cut rates, then China can actually start cutting rates and stimulate its economy much more as well. But are those magazine articles right about a China collapse? See, this is also The Economist trying to call the oil plays, right? Saying the world is drowning in oil, and that turned out like there's too much oil, and that turned out to be the exact bottoming oil, saying, end of the oil age, and also that turned out to be the bottom of the oil market. They're saying oil on a recoil and it's going up, and that turned out to be the top of the oil market. So if you can freeze and just look around, they get things wrong all the time, and it's a contrarian signal. They tend to create these magazine covers exactly when they should be doing the opposite. This is November 19th, 2022, when they said crypto's downfall, and that was exactly the Bitcoin bottom. They called a strong dollar in 2016, and that was the top. So don't listen to idiots writing magazine covers. Follow Pablo